New on Curiosity Stream. How do you connect a 16th century potato to limitless energy production? Could Napoleon's toothpick have a direct link to a machine that predicts the future? And how can a 1700s conch shell chart a course to humans connecting their brains to the internet? James Burke's visionary series Connections returns for a new generation. Experience all new Connections. With monthly, annual, and bundled plans, find the one that works for you at curiositystream.com.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
It's the pop culture field,
A PCFM podcast? I'm in.
There you are in the bar, and I approach you and say, I know you've been out of the game for a long time, but I need you to do one more job. It's called the Pop Culture Field Manual. Are you in or out?
God damn it, I'm in. What we hitting?
We are hitting all of pop culture. And your ears and your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pop Culture Field Manual podcast. That was the greatest intro we've ever done. And I just ruined it by mentioning that it was the greatest intro we've ever done.
Every intro we've done. Every intro we have done has literally topped the intro before.
So this is the 26th best intro we've ever done.
Damn, 26 episodes in?
I know.
Well, real quick, thank you for everybody that made it possible to get to 26 episodes. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate you listening in your cars right now.
Yep.
And you could probably guess about what we're going to talk about, and that is heists, baby.
Heist movies, baby.
Heist movies, baby. Everybody loves a good heist movie, and if you don't, you're lying. And you need to stop listening right now.
You need to go to the lying counselor and learn how to stop lying to yourself and to other people because you know you love heist movies.
Mm-hmm. And you'll probably go watch a heist movie right after it.
Now.
So that's the name of the game for this episode is Best Heists in Pop Culture. There's a long list of these. I mean, we can't talk about them all because we don't have time to do a Jocko podcast of 4 hours.
Someday, folks, when we're making a lot
of
money, this is our main source of income. We'll give you a 5-hour show if you want.
Exactly. You got to subscribe to our OnlyFans for that.
That's right. OnlyFans coming soon.
OnlyFans coming soon.
Cameron, why do you think people like heist movies so much?
Well, I know I like heist movies because I fantasize all the time about, how would I rob a bank if I could? I mean, not the saying I can't. I mean, morally, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to go to prison. And, that's not the type of life for me.
Right.
But I feel like people are drawn to, fantasy ideas that they know what they could never do, but it is a constant thought in their mind. Because, I mean, hey, I'm guilty of, when you see an armored car driving down the street, and in my head, I'm like, how would I be able to steal that thing? Because there's probably a boatload of money in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, scared money don't make no money, brother.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people life is hard. Money is a big problem for a lot of people. You just
financial hardships is the number one reason for divorce.
If you had an opportunity, exactly. If you had an opportunity to get a big chunk of cash, maybe a big risk, but you have a big chunk of cash, and after you got this, man, you'd be good to go. I think that's a big draw for a lot of people too. And there's a lot of intrigue and mystery and usually with the heist you see the plan, right?
Yeah.
How it's all going to be. They plan it out, and then you get to see whether or not it turns out that way, or something, or maybe they switch it where you don't know quite how it's going to happen, and then later on it's revealed how they did everything, and you're like, oh, it's like this big kind of mystery, almost like a magic trick, like how they pulled it off.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, the in-depth planning that goes into it. I mean,
right.
they utilize every asset that they have in their power, and I mean, a big chunk of it is all imagination.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Everyone thinks you can just go into a bank, pull a pistol, and just, walk out with money. It's way deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. And I mean, the creativity that exists in Hollywood really do heist movies justice. And I think that's what makes the appeal, because I mean, none of us common thinking people ever would come up with half of the stuff that goes on in these movies. I also think one of the things that draws people in is the composition of a team, right?
Yeah, getting that perfect team.
The perfect team required for it. You got like a weapons guy who's usually a military man, and I mean that's probably our draw into it, because some part of the military is, or former military guys do it. You have, the brains who comes up the plane. You got the tech guy. You got the leader. You got the bomb expert. You got
almost like A-team.
Yeah, literally, it's an A-team.
You got the mechanics. You got the muscle. You got the brains.
Exactly. It's just and that's everyone wants to know what it takes to pull off a solid heist, and we're gonna go over some of in our opinion, some of the best heist movies we've been able to see so far. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just hit the ground running, because
wait 1 second, just wanted to shout out to Nick Coelho. I think that's how you say his name.
Oh yeah.
Nick Coelho.
He sent the email that gave the inspiration for this episode.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Ideas. Thank you for the emails. Folks.
I know. All right, send us your plans for your bank heist, and we will approve it and tell you if you can go. If you're a go and go. All right, well, let's hit the ground running. Let's see our first one, and I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about Heat real quick.
All right, go for it, man. This is
Heat,
a great one.
In my opinion, is one of the greatest heist movies for one reason. The tactics they use in the break contact scene where they're in the gunfight with the cops.
The peeling away.
The peeling away is by the book how you do break contact. I know people.
Legit tactics.
I know people, and I'm guilty myself, of literally showing when I'm trying to teach break contact to like new privates or to like a squad or a team. I've made them watch Heat, because that is literally how you do it. You have you have support by fire while the other element is maneuvers. They turn back, continue to lay down suppressive fire while the other movement does, and you literally just bound back just like that. And Heat does it perfectly. They do it perfectly, and I mean, hey, obviously their bank heist goes, terribly, and the movie opens up solid with the plan.
Yep.
The first heist is good, and then they go into, obviously their corruption and whatnot, and they got the feds after them and whatnot, just like every classic heist movie. Yep. But I mean, it's just the details put into, the tactics that they use, the weapons that they use, the whole suit and tie with the chest rig thing going. I think that's super badass. Yep. They're rocking full auto the entire time, and the guns are actual blank guns, so it's not just like they CGI'd in. It's all practical weapons. Yep. And they do it so well. And I mean, Robert De Niro, he's, one of the greatest actors of his generation.
And Al Pacino, same thing.
Al Pacino's in there as well.
Mouse game between the two.
Literally, I mean, two Hollywood heavyweights in a heist movie. You couldn't do it better than that. Yeah. Hell, I mean, $1.6 million on the table. That's fucking badass.
Right.
That's a big chunk of change, man.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild to see, and it's cool to see like the camaraderie between the guys doing the heist, the bank robbers, stuff like Val Kilmer, Robert De Niro, and their team. Like you can tell like they're really good friends. They're out there, and like I've seen like they're out for drinks or they're having a barbecue or something like that.
They always barbecue.
Which is they're always barbecuing.
In every heist movie. That's not just a Heat specific movie.
There's always a barbecue in these heists. What is that,
Yeah.
But I love that. I love the camaraderie because it is very reminiscent of like the military kind of stuff, where you spend all this time planning and working and doing the job with the same set of guys. There's bound to, or hopefully, at its best, there's this great rapport and relationship that's built that really you remember for the rest of your life, or until you go to jail or get gunned down in the streets of Los Angeles. Yeah. Like Heat, as happens with a lot of soldiers these days. No.
No, that one was an easy choice for me. Easy choice. Heat starting the heist movies off strong. Yep. What is your next one, brother?
Well, real quick, hold on. I want us to kind of rate the heists.
Oh, you want to rate the heist?
As far as like realism of the heist, on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being shut up, baby, there's no way that could ever happen, to 10 being that's absolutely real. It's probably based on a true story. So 1, not very good heist. 10, perfect heist.
So there's a couple of jobs in Heat why don't we talk about the main one that kind of where everything starts to fall apart?
I think it's in terms of realism, it's 10. It's a 10 in my opinion, just because even though it's not a perfectly executed heist, like I said, the realism that goes into it, like that's what probably would happen. You know, if you got loose ends, just like they did.
Yeah, it comes back to bite you.
It does
later on.
But I mean, you can see the tactics, you can see the training of the guys. You can tell that they're actually been in the shit for a while. They know what they're doing. It's not just like some Hollywood fucking bullshit. It's they conduct, that break contact will be the best break contact that ever is shown on the big screen. Yep. So that for me that rates it 10, even though they don't get away with everything that they wanted to, and they get a lot of people shot and whatnot. But I think in reality, that's what would happen.
Yeah. You know what? Just kind of bringing it into the real world. Speaking of that kind of situation, I don't know if anybody remembers the North Hollywood Bank of America shootout that happened in 1997. Do you remember hearing anything about this?
I was born in 95, so I was sucking on my mom's teat while this was happening.
So this was a real bank heist that happened. Two guys, they had homemade body armor, they had automatic weapons, and they walked into a Bank of America in North Hollywood, here in SoCal, and they walked out with money, and the cops surrounded them. And it was this amazing shootout, wild shootout, because their homemade body armor was so good that the cops didn't have a powerful enough, high enough caliber weapons to take them down. So they were shooting them with like shotguns, really close range.
Some
and they
revolvers and some shotguns.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, they didn't have, I think after that, I think that's the inspiration for patrolmen to start carrying ARs.
Right. That would be I don't know what tactics changed afterwards, but the standard sidearms were like 38 specials and 12 gauge shotguns. And they had, the other guys, it was Phillips and some guy with a really hard name, Matasarano, just real shut-in dudes. They made their own body armor stuff. They had Norinco Type 56, type AK style weapons. They had Bushmaster XM15 AR line of AR style. So they were armed to the teeth. And one guy, I think, got into a car. They got split up. One got into a car, and I think he got shot later on and crashed his car. The other guy, here's the thing, that training is he was walking down the road. They couldn't stop him. They were just walking with him because they just couldn't gun him down. And he got a stovepipe. He got a shell stuck in the ejection, right there. Didn't eject, got caught in there. It's a standard malfunction. Anybody who's had basic training would know how to clear that. He didn't know how to clear it. He panicked, took out his own pistol, and shot himself.
Oh, no. All you got to do is knife hand that bitch,
Dude,
brother.
Didn't even know, yeah. Should have had that military training. Probably best that he didn't.
Yeah. It ended it right there.
But yeah, I remember that happening. I remember I wasn't in California at the time, but I remember I used to drive around the valley. I remember that area. Just a crazy real life story, about a heist that didn't go so well. So, but the next one we talk about is Army of the Dead. Not my favorite movie, but definitely
a different take on a heist.
Yeah, it's a different take on a heist movie, and it's very Zack Snyder. You can tell a Zack Snyder movie, very stylized. It's got his own little thumbprint on it, footprint, whatever. It's got a lot of prints on it. It's very dirty. They could definitely dust it for prints and find out Zack Snyder's been a part of this. But so Las Vegas itself has been overrun by zombies. And what I like is that it's that kind of team aspect that we talked about earlier.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's you get the
classic
I need
heist,
you, I'm yours.
the heist formula.
Yeah, exactly.
Recruiting
the team.
Step one, recruit team.
Yep. What's his name? Dave Bautista.
Dave Bautista. I'm a big fan of Dave Bautista. I've always been following him, even when he was a WWE superstar.
Oh, that's cool. So he recruits his old team, which I always love because, they have that immediate rapport, that immediate connection with each other.
It's I need you for one more gig. Because they're survivors. The team, they were surviving in Vegas, and they were like...
Well, they were like a team that was sent to extract people. They were like an extraction team. They were in to rescue people. And it was a really hard job, and they lost some of their people doing it, and they were just kind of embittered by the whole experience. Yeah. So the opportunity to and they didn't get any recognition.
No, they just did it because that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't get, and they, much like many people in the military, they didn't get paid a whole lot.
No, they did not.
But so it's really attractive for them to go into Vegas, which is going to be nuked in, in 48 hours or whatever, and so they have to go. So it's a bank. It's a heist movie.
It's a zombie movie. It's a heist movie. It's a relationship movie because the father-daughter aspect of it. Relationship. And so basically, Dave Bautista's approached because he's flipping burgers now after all his service and stuff, right? He's classic veteran.
I was gonna say that's a classic veteran kind of thing. Like these guys, we have a job, we get training, we are so stylized and highly trained in what we do. And then some of us end up like washing cars,
Yeah, or like flipping burgers like Dave Bautista, just because we have a very specific skill asset. We're extremely good at what we do, but we can't do what we're trained to do in the civilian sector because there's no room for stacking bodies anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, and they've done a better job of it, I think, as time has gone on. But it's hard to think about how your skills in the military would translate into the real world. I think there are aspects of them that can, like obviously, stacking bodies. Maybe you just want to do some private contracting work or something.
It's the funny thing is, I always make this joke, and is when you get out of the military as an infantryman, you have either two options: contracting work or law enforcement. That's literally all you can, or private security.
Right.
That's literally all you can do. But, I took that kind of, and, in the infantry, one thing that I did get was leadership capability. So that's why I started pursuing, a degree in management. Because I was like, okay, well, I do have a skill set that translates. It's just people think like all they're good at is shooting and, running and gunning. But hey, if you're part of the infantry, you have leadership capabilities. Yep. So if you just basically hone in on things that can transfer over, that's great. But we're going down a rabbit hole right now. So Army of the Dead.
This is what people want to hear.
Yeah, Army of the Dead, they basically get approached by this Japanese casino owner. And since Vegas is overrun with zombies, he goes to Dave Bautista and he's like, I know you can get a team. I know you're the best at what you do. There's a lot of money.
It's a couple million.
Yeah, it's a couple million. It's like in the double-digit millions.
Yeah.
So it's they're like, we got this much money in a casino safe. Here's all the plan. Here's all the schematics of how to get through it. It's this type of lock. If you can find someone that could bust a thing, you go get my money out for me, extract in a helicopter, and then you can keep a chunk of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's a good chunk of it. It's enough to pay for anything that they'll need for the rest of their life. So obviously that's money's the motivator right there.
Yep. But then they get double crossed because we know that the Japanese boss, he really wanted genetic material.
Yeah, he wanted the mind of a zombie.
Exactly.
To weaponize them.
Exactly, to weaponize it. So it's a setup from the very start, and that's not something that's revealed until later on.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of obvious that the one guy who's acting skeezy is obviously skeezy and ends up being the betrayer of them all. Of course,
he's
and then he gets crushed by the tiger.
Yeah, the zombie tiger in that. Tiger. So it's not only a heist movie, but it's also a zombie movie, and it's also a double cross and movie. I didn't realize it's so many different movies in one.
Yeah, it really is.
It's good, man. I like it, and not to mention the characters are super cool. Like that one guy, he uses basically the circular saw, like the quickie saw, as like his preferred weapon, which is so dumb,
so impractical, but like very stylized and fun to watch.
Oh yeah, do you know how heavy that thing is?
Dude,
it's so heavy, and you got to carry tons of fuel. They have like fuel tanks on their back that everybody's carrying for his saw, and I'm like, dude, come on.
Scale of realism, what would you say? Like from 1 to 10? I'm gonna call this like a 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a solid 1, just because zombies aren't real.
Well, I was gonna say zombies might exist someday, so I'm gonna give it a 2, but everything else about it, like, the whole idea of like them not being able to fly in. I know they give some sort of like throwaway line saying that there's like restricted airspace or whatever.
Bull.
Yeah, but like who's out there watching? Like nobody cares.
If they extract themselves on a helicopter.
Government. Like they can extract out of there, but they can't fly in. Like,
I don't think they have. It's like you're a billionaire, dude, and there's like a old ass Vietnam Black Hawk on top of the casino. Which why would you have just that old of a helicopter there?
Yeah, like a really old.
And you're a billionaire. Why can't you just fly him in?
A Huey, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, but
why can't you Halo in or something?
Yeah, exactly. If you're that specialized, come on. So I give it a 1.
All right, next one.
One thing I want to talk about is obviously one of my favorite movies of all time, top 5.
Really?
Point Break.
Oh, Point Break, yes.
Point Break.
The
Johnny Utah,
but we got to talk. It's the Keanu Reeves.
The Keanu Reeves, not the diarrhea remake that they butchered that classic film.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's Keanu Reeves, and it's also Big Sexy Daddy himself.
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Thank you. And it's also, what's his face? Really funny guy.
His buddy.
Utah,
partner.
give me 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, give me 2.
What's his fucking name? Here
Gary
we go.
Busey.
Gary Busey. It's funny. Gary Busey is actually at Malibu local, and he used to smoke cigars at this cigar lounge that my mom used to buy the crates from her store. So that we've met Gary Busey. But
Busey.
that movie, not only is it one of the most popular movies in my platoon when I was in regiment, it's so many quotes from that movie.
So many quotes.
Surfing's the source, man. Save your life, swear to God. Yeah, Utah, give me 2.
Just let me get one more wave, then you can take me in. Catherine Bigelow, 1991.
Yeah, dude, that movie is great. The ex-presidents are surfers. Dude, Gary
And
Busey.
what a great motif for a heist crew is the
Just a bunch of surf bros that just love. They're adrenaline junkies.
I feel like this is one of those that you couldn't make today, not because it's like offensive or anything, even though everything's offensive now. Like the collective consciousness around these kinds of things, like like surfers and that kind of bravado, like the cop doing his own thing. I don't know if that's really plays as much today.
Plus, you would anything. I mean, they tried to remake this movie and it was stupid.
I mean, I applaud them in the remake that they didn't try to do the exact same story.
Yeah, it was a twist. They focused more on the adrenaline sports.
Yeah, but it's like it ends up being a meaningless endeavor. Like you didn't have to call it Point Break, just call it something else. Call
Breakpoint,
Extreme Ops, or whatever.
Yeah, but the movie is a classic. The heists are good. I am not a crook when he's leaving. But their strategy is really good as far as heists. And as far as just, coming up with surfers, they never go for the vault. They own their rule. They never go for the vault.
They have a certain time limit because they know the response time for the police.
Yes.
Right? So they've done their research, they case the joints, right? They do their homework. They know the response time of the police. They know the layout. So there's a lot of planning involved, a lot of stuff that you might find in it's very militaristic, very organized.
It is. It's pre-planned.
Yeah, the who, what, when, where. They get all the information that they can. It probably takes weeks of planning. They're a well-oiled machine. And they know how to surf. Obviously.
Of course, it's one of the skills of the heist.
Yeah, and so I that lends credibility in the context of the movie, because it's like sometimes, like with Army of the Dead. Like, it's only the most thinly veiled, semblance of, logic and thought behind it. It's like, if you think about it in any other, if you start asking questions, the whole premise starts to fall apart. You know what I mean? But with this one, you kind of get it in that day and age and stuff like that. Like,
they're surfers. They're following the waves, so they're hitting enough banks to allow them to live while they follow the waves and just surf. It's a season. It's bank season. Yeah. So when they're around, they hit the banks for enough money to follow the waves. And it makes sense. You're like, oh my God. Surfers.
Yep.
And
then Gary Busey's the only one that figured it out. Crazy Gary Busey.
I found on, the tracks, it's specifically in surf wax.
Yeah, surf wax. Yeah, all the hair that they got or whatever. It's like, the certain chemicals.
Grains of sand.
Grains of sand.
Yeah, it's like, he's like, everybody thinks I'm crazy. But the ex-presidents are surfers. Yep. But then, as Keanu Reeves, Johnny Utah himself, starting to crack,
gets his guy
because he infiltrates and he doesn't think it's Bodie.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't think it's Bodie. Yep. And I had to remind myself because I was like, what is his name again? And I realized my first team leader's dog is named after him. It's Bodie, because I told you we're Point Break mega fans. So Bodie, he doesn't think it's Bodie because Bodie's a great character. Like, he thinks it's the main dick surfer that he gets in a fight with, and Bodie comes to the rescue and they kicked each other's ass.
He thinks it's what's Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, it's that.
Yeah, they think it's that guy. And I mean, they're up to some deep shit, and they hit the wrong house.
Anthony Kiedis.
There you go.
And they think it's that guy because obviously he checks all the box for a piece of shit, and it just so happens he is a piece of shit, but he's not the ex-president's.
Yeah.
And he raids the house, and they have that guy who's been he's infiltrated that group of terrible surfers, and he's he's a DEA guy. So after they hit the house, he's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I've been working this case for 4 months.
Yep.
You think I like dressing like this?
Yep.
And he blows it, and then they realize that, it is Bodie, because they start gaining trust, and they want him to go on the heist with him and everything, and then boom, done. But then, since they start de-evolving, they start, losing, they start going for, big things.
Right, they try to bite off more than they can chew. They go off the plan.
Yeah, and go for the vault.
Yep.
And that's when, one of them dies, and they end up killing civilians, and then, that's when Johnny Utah kind of, gets exposed as the Fed. You know, he's the cop, man.
Yep.
And they kidnap his, Bodhi's ex-girlfriend, which is Keanu Reeves' lover.
Yeah,
and it just goes down.
What's her name? I forget.
Short hair lady.
Lori Petty.
Lori
Petty.
There you go.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
But man, I just had to throw a Point Break in there.
It's great.
You want to rate it? Realism?
I'm gonna say like it's something about like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, in realism it's a 6 or a 7, but in just greatness of the movie, I'm giving it a hard 10.
I'm giving it an 11 in terms of greatness.
Greatness, it deserves nothing less than a hard 11 on the scale of 1 to 10.
Speaking of nothing at all because I lost my train of thought. Three Kings.
Three Kings.
Three
The
Kings.
military heist.
Yeah, this is like down and dirty. I think when people think about this episode, they're going to want us to talk about something like this.
Ice Cube, baby.
This is military men.
Desert Storm, right?
Yeah, Desert Storm. They're kind of over it. They're kind of they're maybe not. Like George Clooney's character. So it's about three soldiers that just tried. They hear about some Saudi or some Saddam's gold, right, in this kind of unprotected bunker that he had hidden away. They're like, we can go and get it. So they're going to go off base and they're going to go off mission and they're going to go after it. And George Clooney is just kind of like this dude where it's I can see the idea. It's a lot. We're not going to talk about it, but there's like Kelly's Heroes, the same kind of premise, right? Where it's the guys in war and they're a bit disillusioned. You know what I mean? Like they maybe they don't know why they're here or they don't agree with why they're here or they do agree, but they're kind of been there for too long and they want something. They want like an out, they want some sort of reward. They feel like they need it. Like they got.
I mean, the man's bending them over for Desert Storm. I mean, they're sucking over there, and they're not getting paid well.
Yep.
They're wasting their time over there. It's a big Saddam's giant thing. A lot of people just roasted overseas and didn't see action. I mean, you look at Jarhead, man. What a terrible. What a tease that entire movie was.
War movie ever.
Yeah,
or
literally.
maybe one of the best because it's like. That's 90% of the army is like, hurry up and wait.
Yeah, literally. You're being told, it's about to happen, man. Come on. You're killers. And then right when it's about to happen, they call it off. It's like, oh, okay. Wow. Crazy, man. Who would have knew the military is like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not me. No way.
But they, and things obviously start to go a little wrong. They get involved with some locals and stuff like that. And they kind of
political game.
Yeah. They kind of see maybe the devastation that this war has kind of caused for some of the people. And
don't they end up giving the gold away?
Man, you know what? You're going to get me here. I can't remember exactly. I know they all kind of end up having lives afterwards, so it's not like they go to jail or anything. Yeah, no. George Clooney becomes like a consultant for Hollywood. Yeah. But you guys can tell us that. You guys can tell us in the comments.
Yeah, if you've seen. I mean, we've both seen. It's been a while for me. I know the movies. That's why I was like, okay.
Chris, they're like, I'm trying to help you out here. They go after the gold, but it's also about releasing this political prisoner and helping out these local people who are like, the U.S. government's here. They're going to finally help us, like overthrow Saddam. And they're like, no, we're leaving. And we just came to get the gold. But they end up helping the people, like free some people and things like that. So they end up
kind of. Is a bit of a redemption kind of thing, where they had dishonorable intentions, but then they end up kind of helping them out.
Yeah,
like it makes more sense to help these people than it is to help ourselves, kind of thing.
Yeah, but they still end up with some gold.
Okay, well that's good. A win-win.
Win-win.
It's a win-win.
It's a perfect heist movie.
It is a perfect heist movie, but they are missing the recipe. The whole putting the team together. They're already together. They're already together, and they all have the same skill set.
They break away from type. Yeah,
exactly. So in that heist formula. I'm going to give it a good 4.
A 4?
I'm giving it a 4 because, A, military men aren't that smart and they can't come up with that shit. Or if your chain of command isn't tracking what's going on and you're on deployment when you're all together, like, you notice when people are gone. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to go over here and be gone for multiple, You
don't just go outside the wire.
You don't just go outside the wire. So that's why I give it a 4.
Now, here's the thing with my rating.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Like when I went over there, I was in a unit where we did have a lot of freedom. We did have a lot of lateral, like our lanes were pretty wide in terms of what we could do on our own. And there were often times when we would go off base and it would just be two Humvees driving through the middle of the desert. So I can conceive of an entire ODA. Everyone gets in on it. There's 12 men. We're all going to do this thing. And I can conceive of because we have assets in SF.
Yeah.
We collect our own intel. I can.
You have
see
more
this
freedom.
There's a little more freedom.
A little freedom of maneuver.
Yeah, and there were a couple of times where we were voluntold to go, hey, go comb the desert or whatever. But there were times when I can see a package hey guys, we got this package. There's this guy, and it's all just a cover to go get some Saddam gold or something.
That is true.
So yeah. I would say I'm gonna give it a 7.
Oh wow,
A
man!
little 7 because I think maybe someday we're gonna hear some stories about some SEALs or some SF dudes or something like that really got away, or maybe we'll never hear about it because they did such a good job.
I mean, these are conventional guys, though, right?
Right.
They're just regular army. And
but
when
George Clooney.
It is George. Yeah, he's got a strong jawline, so he can get away with anything. But I mean, when I was over 10th Mountain, when we were in Syria, 10th Mountain came and kind of they sent a platoon out, and these guys were so locked down. They couldn't even, if I needed to go shower outside, I could walk down there in flip-flops with my shirt off, and just a towel. These guys had to be in full PTs. They had to wear athletic running shoes until they couldn't walk in flip-flops.
Yep.
That's how locked down these guys, and that's just one aspect of it.
Yep.
So I mean, thinking that these guys could just sneak off, and we were allowed to go outside the gates of the of our fob too. And I'm sure we had up armored Land Rovers and some old Toyota Land Rovers that we could go, and if we needed to go do something outside the gates, we could. We just told somebody and we went. But the conventional guys, I don't know about. That's why I give the little bit of a lower rating because I don't think they have that freedom. Mm-hmm. Now, if the plot was they're obviously an ODA, then that gives them a little bit more, freedom of maneuver, as I said before. But okay, I respect your rating, but you're wrong.
Well, it's okay. Nobody's perfect, and you're also wrong. But I really want to talk about this one. I'm going to skip down a little bit, actually.
Do your thing, man.
Dude, we got to talk about Die Hard.
Die Hard, baby.
That is classic 80s action movie, man.
That is classic.
And
it is a Christmas movie. Yeah, it is a Christmas movie.
That's right, it is.
It
yes.
is. Hans Gruber.
Then,
Silver Snape himself.
Yeah, that's right. Good old Alan Rickman, man.
That's a reverse heist though, because he's trying to prevent the heist from happening.
Well, you're right. The antagonists are trying to conduct a heist. They actually have a great cover of being not political terrorist guys.
Yeah.
They have all these demands of releasing political prisoners. And he names a weird one, and the guys look at him weird. He's like, "Oh, I read it in the newspaper once, I read it in Time magazine." So what's great about it, So they're in the Nakatomi Towers. Bruce Willis is the cop visiting his wife from New York. Quick setup. Hans Gruber, they come in and infiltrate the building, hold everyone hostage during a Christmas party because it's a Christmas movie, and then. What's great about the heist is the planning. Again, is that they have kind of believable kind of ways that they're going about doing things,
yes.
Right? They know the security system, right? They knew as soon as they trip certain safety measures, then the vault locks down and they got to drill through because they can't get the codes from the guy. And then they know the tactics of the police. They know their procedures, right? Mm-hmm. And so they know how to counteract those procedures. They know how to stall them to create time for themselves. And then they ultimately have a plan of kind of covering their tracks, by asking for helicopters, getting everybody to the roof, and then planning to blow it up when they're actually going to go down below and kind of sneak away. They got an ambulance,
Yeah.
But I love the reveal where it's they seem like these really high end, terrorists that have all these almost political aspirations to free their friends and stuff. They're just a bunch of bank robbers.
Yeah, there's robbers. They're just playing a cover.
But it's Die Hard. I mean, I don't know if you have very many people that would listen to this podcast that haven't seen this movie, but it's a classic. It's a great Christmas movie, and it's a action movie classic. I'm just keep driving that home.
I know that's your bread and butter, man. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I 100% agree.
That's right. That's my branding right there. So, John McTiernan, it's super great. Now, in terms of realism, I would say, it's funny because I wonder how much the era in which a movie or the events take place has has an effect on like their tactics and their planning and stuff like that. Because this is before cell phones, before the internet, and I don't know what kind of modern movies, modern heist movies have to do with like using the technology that you have at your disposal. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's just kind of an interesting thing to think about because this takes place in the 80s, right? And it's very much a movie of its time. So I wonder if like the tactics would change with the technology that is available, like from then and now, kind of thing. So I don't know, what do you think?
I'll rate it. I mean, it could happen. Who knows? Die Hard, Bruce Willis, he's based off real roles of real people. And if Bruce Willis is at a Christmas party and it gets attacked by covering political terrorists that are actually bank robbers, I think he could get away with it, man. I think he could do it. So I'm going to give it about a 7.
The one, I mean, like in terms of realism, in terms of like one guy battling, against, we've heard stories of like stand-up fights, like, Medal of Honor recipients and stuff like that. So I suppose it's not too outside
it's not,
the realm of possibility of an elite, like high-end guy that he's good at his job and he knows the area, he knows the layout.
I mean, he's doing guerrilla warfare the entire time.
That's really what
he's sending pop shots and then he goes in the vents.
Right.
He's working his angles. He's not like bum rushing them and walking in a juggernaut suit or something and just like taking them all out at once. He very methodically picks them off when they separate in the group. So he's never like fighting like 4 people at once. I mean, there is some parts where but he's always shoot from this position, almost like the Patriot ambush scene. When 3 people take on an entire just cavalry.
Exactly.
I mean, it can be. That's why I'm giving it a 7.
Yeah, he's resourceful.
Yes.
He's competent, and and he's able to even the odds by using ingenuity and clever thinking and stuff like that. So yeah, why not? I'll give it a 6.
I'll give it a hard 7, man. 6.5 maybe. 7's pushing it. But that's a good one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about this one really quick. This is a newer movie that came out, but I absolutely love this movie. Have you ever seen Den of Thieves?
I've not seen Den of Thieves. That's Gerard Butler, right?
Gerard Butler.
Gerald
I think,
Butler.
and 50 Cent's in it.
50 Cent.
50 Cent's in it. And Ice Cube's son, what's his name? He was in the NWA remake.
Oh, okay, as Ice Cube.
Yeah, he played Ice Cube's son played Ice Cube in the NWA.
Okay.
So he's also in this film. I forgot his name. But I chose this one because, the plot is they're former MARSOC guys.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
So MARSOC Marines, I think there's 2 of them. They went to prison. They pretty much hijacked an armored truck. And, this, if you want to talk about, like, planning, the movies that you're like, oh my God, that plan is fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. This is the movie for you. Not to mention Gerald Butler's, like, surprisingly, he's the protagonist in the movie, but he has so much wrong with him that he almost seems as the antagonist.
Okay.
So he works for the LAPD, but his team is so harsh. They don't do things by the book. They do drugs, they drink, they fuck hookers, they do the whole 9 yards, and you're like, these guys are cops.
Dude.
And they're on a task force. I'm pretty sure their task force is called like the Renegades or something.
They're almost like they've been kind
regulators.
of
I'm pretty sure
unofficial permission to go outside the law.
Yeah, they are the guys that the cops call to do the dirty work, essentially. But they're still part of the LAPD. They're like a special unit in the LAPD. So like I'm pretty sure they're called the regulators. They all have like Grim Reaper tattoos and stuff, and they go and so basically. Merriman is the main guy. He's on parole, and he's a former MARSOC Marine, and all the people he meets in prison are the ones he trusts, right? And they recruit Ice Cube's son because he's a bartender at a local bar that they're drinking at, and they heard he's a good driver. So, like, he proves he's a really good driver by, like, taking him in a Mustang and, like, showing him what he's got. So he gets recruited as their getaway driver. So the plan that they set in motion is they want to raid the Federal Reserve in Los Angeles. So there's like $30 million worth of money that they can get away with. The plan involves like sending an electromagnetic pulse to bring down the cameras.
Oh my gosh.
They're planning like weeks in advance. They make the getaway driver like a food delivery guy so he can go in and like infiltrate and pretty much see where all the cameras are and know the check-in process. And like they involve like a trash dump by putting all the money in one of the in the dumpster truck and like driving it away. But spoilers, everyone, Oh God, I wanted you to see it. Now I'm like spoiling
Nah,
it for
man,
it.
it's
But
okay.
it's a great movie.
Statute of limitations is past.
It's okay. So, but it ends up being a double cross because like they don't trust the new guy, Ice Cube's son, at all, and like Gerald Butler's character ends up kidnapping Ice Cube's son and like getting the info out of him about what's going on because they beat the shit out of him. They like I'm telling you, they are the law, but they are the bad part of the law. So like they legit like beat the shit out of him, torture. He like pees his pants and everything, and they drug him and like tase him, and they're just like torturing, getting info. And the heist goes down, and like Gerald Butler is basically trying to track them down, and he's like, and it ends up having like a heat getaway car in like Los Angeles traffic where they're doing like the break the contact thing, and it turns out that Ice Cube's son, his name's Donnie in the movie, and Donnie turned out to double cross everybody. And when Donnie gets captured, they like let him go because he tells them everything, so they go after Merriman. But in actuality, Donnie planned with his friends to basically do another truck and replace the truck, so they end up getting away with all the money, and Merriman gets busted, and basically Gerald Butler's like team gets all schwacked because they're shooting each other. And it's just like a twist. You know how there's that Rick and Morty episode about the heists, and there's like the heist turns into a double cross, into a double cross, into a double cross, into a double cross, and like they're just double crossing each other, and like I knew you would have done that, so I did this, and it was like, well, I knew you would have done that when I did this, so I did this, so when you did that, I did this. It's literally that classic heist film. Yeah. But it's so good. I like it. It's pretty brutal, and I like the fact that like the guys are MARSOC Marines and they have like tactics that they actually use. But Den of Thieves, really good movie. In terms of rating it on realism, I probably can be the only one that rates this because you haven't seen it. Huh? Yeah. I think it's about an 8. All right. As far as just actually happening. It's pretty good, man. They do a really good job of it.
I think when you talk about heist movies that involve former military people, it's kind of something easy for people to latch onto because there's an assumed level of training that a military person has. And even if you don't know what MARSOC necessarily involves, it kind of gives a lot of latitude if you're like a lazy writer or just a writer. You want to be like, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about why they know these skills.
So we'll just label them as special forces.
Yeah, exactly. You just give them the label, and then people are like, oh, I kind of get that. Because there's an idea within popular culture that if you're a certain kind of soldier, well, then you have a certain set of skills.
Yeah. Oh, he's a ranger, airborne, sniper, marine recon, special forces guy.
Therefore, he can
do anything with his hands.
Create this nuclear bomb and go into space as an astronaut.
Yeah, he can do anything he puts his mind to.
Well, let's talk about some. We're kind of running out of time, so let's go through some honorable mentions real quick. Just some great heist movies that you should probably check out, or I actually need to check out. The first one I want to say is Triple Canopy because as I was doing research for this, I didn't have quite enough time to watch it, but I know it's a heist movie with former military dudes. It's Ben Affleck, it's Oscar Isaac, and a couple.
Dude, Ben Affleck finds his way into all the heist movies.
Dude, yeah.
Because another one on this honorable mention list is something I wanted to talk about, but we're running short on time. But is The Town.
Right.
The Town is so good.
Does that take place in Boston?
It's Boston.
Harvard Yard?
Yeah, he's like, I want to go with you. No, the Town, a great Ben Affleck movie. He fits that character so well. Just like the Boston guy.
He's been doing it since Good Will Hunting.
Oh, yeah, no. And all his movies are in Boston because he's a Bostonite, isn't he?
Okay, there you go.
I'm pretty sure Ben Affleck's a Bostonite. But The Town's a great movie as far as an honorable mention. That one should have made the list a little bit sooner, but hell. There's so many heist movies out here.
Heist movies part 2.
Heist movies part 2.
You got The Usual Suspects. Classic movie. I think a modern day classic where it's almost like a whodunit kind of thing because they find them all dead, and then it's Kevin Spacey's character talking about what happened. Turns out he's just making everything up because it's him the whole time,
Of course. And then you got obviously the Ocean 11s.
Ocean's movies.
Ocean 11
classic
and 13, but not 12.
Not 12. No.
12 sucks.
Not 12. I liked 11. That was the only one that I really liked.
Yeah, I mean it's a classic one.
Yeah, and then they had the all-female cast, Ocean's 8. I never saw that, but
me neither.
I'm sure it was great. Guys. I mean, ladies, let's just move on. There's The Score. That was one thing. It's actually not on here, but I was thinking of Robert De Niro movie, who was actually in a movie later called Heist, but it's not The Heist by David Mamet. But The Score, Robert De Niro and Ed Norton.
Robert De Niro is in every heist movie ever. I feel like, so we talk about the formula of heist movies, right? Recruiting, great plan, Robert De Niro. That's the recipe for a
really
perfect
has
heist
been in
movie.
a lot of heist movies. He's
Man, he's
eaten-
he's in Heat. He's in friggin' what you just said, the
Score.
score. He's also in this
Heist.
one, Ronin. He's in-
Ronin? Oh my god. Yeah, we didn't get to talk about Ronin, man.
It's
Folks,
okay.
take my word for it. If you haven't seen it, you love heist movies, you gotta go see Ronin.
Yeah, so Ronin might have to be on the part 2, the heist part 2.
Super good, classic movie.
Yeah, but real quick before I transition to our game, it's worth mentioning the best heist of all time, the 2nd Ranger Battalion Bank of America heist that actually happened.
Poor Bank of America.
Poor Bank of America. So, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty famous story about Regiment. It's kind of what gave Second Bat its nickname Cash Bat, and it's the inspiration for one of my Kick God t-shirts.
That's right.
So, the story behind this is in 2006, 4 men ended up robbing a Bank of America in Tacoma, and they got away with about, I think it was $54,000. And it turned out to be I think it was 3 Rangers from 275 conducted the heist. And it's funny because the FBI team that was assigned to crack it, they said it was one of the most perfectly executed bank robberies they have ever seen, just because, when we train every day in Regiment, and we train hard. And it's funny because what I've heard from the stories that have kind of leaked around, just from PNN, Private News Network, from what happened on that day, they trained it because all building schematics are public access. So you can go to City Hall and get blueprints to any building that's public, right?
Okay.
So then, and in Regiment, we do something called glass house drills, where you would basically, instead of going and clearing rooms, if you don't have that, you get engineer tape and you just put tape on the ground in the form of buildings. And you can make an entire schematics of rooms with hallways and doors and everything just with tape on the ground. So what I heard is that they got the schematics, put a glass house to emulate the layout of Bank of America, and just practice clearing it for training. And obviously, nobody batted an eye.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do every day.
Why would they equate that to something out
They'd
there?
be like, oh, these Rangers are just doing good training. All right, continue, man. All the way. And so they ended up perfectly executing this bank robbery. Although they did not get away with it, they eventually got arrested and everything. But it gave Second Bat the nickname for Money Bat.
Probably for the best. Everybody wins. You get a cool nickname, and they get to go to jail.
It's okay. We're not perfect, people. Nobody's perfect. And don't let the actions of individuals label an entire organization of warfighters. Fallacy of composition.
That's right.
But anyways, I think we can leave on that note, on that positive note. Let's switch to our game.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Chris, you got a game for us, man?
I sure do. This one's called What's the Score?
What's the score, see?
What's the score?
Oh, we're gonna speak easy.
Yeah, it's like old-time language, 23 skidoo. All right, so I'm going to tell you a heist, whether it's a TV, video game, movie, or real-life person. I'm going to, if the heist has a name, I'll say that, or if it's a person, I'll say that, or if it's the name of the game or the movie or whatever, I'll say that. And you have to tell me what the score was, what they were trying to steal.
Oh, okay.
Or what they were seeking out, okay? So let's do a warm-up. Ocean's 11. What were they trying to get?
Money.
Money. Come back when you get some money, buddy.
Casino money.
It's money. Casino money. $150 million.
Okay.
That is a lot of money.
Not a bad
Although
chunk of
still
change.
less than the Powerball. All right.
570 million.
So
right
a
now.
pretty simple game, but also difficult. Okay.
We'll see.
Got it.
I'll be the judge of that.
Uncharted,
Uncharted.
the first one.
Oh,
Uncharted.
The
man.
video game.
Yeah.
No, man, what is he after? It's
Gold.
No, it's like is it? No, it's not a gold thing. It's like some sort of statue. Almost has like biological warfare thing or something like that. Ah, man.
No,
I'm
I
going
think you're
with
thinking of
gold.
the movie Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Just give it up, Chris.
Gold. I'm going with gold.
You're
No.
close, Cameron.
I'm going to say like a statue, but I don't know if that's as accurate as you
A
want.
golden statue.
No, they're looking for the city of El Dorado.
Oh, it's the city of gold.
The city
Technically,
of gold. I'll give
it
Cameron
is made of
halfies.
gold.
I like
said
gold.
gold. Can
Cameron-
I turn your shoe
Cameron,
gold?
you get halfies on that because you were closer.
I mean, it's a city
You
of
were-
gold.
it's
It'd be
more
like
than
me
a
saying,
statue.
it'd be like me saying brick, and then you're like, no, they tried to rob a brick building.
Yeah, but like at the end.
Wait, are
he's
you
on-
arguing for or against me giving you any credit?
He's on the tanker.
I want
right?
more,
And
I'm
it's
not
the final,
happy.
and the guy gets like there's like a statue, and he gets pushed over the edge, and the bad guy's leg is attached to a rope that's attached to the thing, and the statue pulls him under, and he falls into the ocean depths.
Well, that's not. I'm talking
Fun
about like
fact.
what Nathan Drake was trying to get.
All right.
Fun fact:
Anyway.
El Dorado, Road to
Also,
El
I
Dorado.
could be
is one of my
wrong.
favorite
Let us
movies.
know if I'm wrong.
Yeah, let us know if we're wrong.
All right.
Also, let us know what video games out there have to do with heists besides Payday and GTA, because I was trying to do research and I couldn't find any
Yeah, I mean, I think there's video games with heists, but
Yeah.
it's hard to find one that centers around that.
about heists.
All right, Inception.
Inception. They're trying to
They're trying to
steal
plant an
his-
idea. They're
Plant an
trying
idea
they're trying to get
into
this
a
big
man's head.
company to break itself up so that it's not like a monopoly, you know.
It's correct. It's an idea.
Yeah.
Pretty general there. All right,
Nice.
The Score.
The
Robert
Score.
De Niro movie with Ed Norton.
Money.
No. It's a it's
haven't
like
seen
an
it.
old it's like a scepter or something like that. It's hidden inside an old piano, and Ed Norton's character discovers it, and then he recruits Robert De Niro.
Oh,
who's planning on
man.
retiring. He recruits him to do it, but then Ed Norton tries to double cross him, but Robert De Niro double crosses him instead.
Yes,
Dude.
it is a scepter.
Please tell me National Treasure's on your list. That's something that just popped in my head.
Well, no. I don't
We are
consider
going
that-
to steal the Constitution of the United States.
No, I
That
didn't.
should have been
Although
it.
in hindsight,
Damn it!
I should. But you, it's that's too easy. You would have known it.
I'm sorry.
But yeah.
You
So
should have put that
it's
in
a
here,
scepter. It's a French national treasure stored in the ultra-secure basement of the Montreal Customs House. So it's the only heist movie to ever take place in Canada, eh?
Hey.
I don't know if that's true, but I like
Sorry.
making fun of
Sorry
it.
for the heist, eh?
All right,
Well,
so,
it's okay. You shouldn't take that scepter, you know.
so this is a person's name. This is a real-life heist, okay? The person's name is Vincenzo Perugia.
Panties.
Wow, it's a real life heist?
Yeah.
He's probably going after
What
a very
did he
famous
take?
piece of I said panties, but I confused the word panties for painting. He's going after a famous painting.
Which famous painting?
The Mona Lisa.
It is the Mona Lisa.
Whoa!
I just went with my gut.
Dude, you just hit the high points, right? Painting. What's the most well-known painting? Mona Lisa.
Exactly.
Well, when
Yeah.
you hear about how he did it, it's insane. In
Really?
1911, he threw some cloth over it and walked out of the Louvre with it under his arm.
What?
And no one stopped him. In the morning.
Oh my
In
God.
the morning. Haven't had my cup of coffee yet. Can't stop you.
He was an
Sorry.
Italian who stole it from the French because
How long
was
did he
like,
have
this
it?
is an Italian painting. They got it back. He only went to prison for like 6 months. And then he was a national hero in Italy because he tried to steal back the Mona Lisa.
That's badass, dude.
Right on, man.
Good for you. When was this?
1911.
1911. Okay. Great year. Great gun.
Great year
guy.
for
Great year for the birth of firearms, too.
Okay. The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Just specifically talking about the beginning of the movie.
Money.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's get a little more specific though. What kind of money?
What
It's
kind
the
of
mob's money. It's all the mob's money that they've
Yeah, they
laundered
stole
that
the
one guy's
mob's
in
money.
charge of.
It's the mob's money.
It's
Correct.
the mob's money.
Very good.
The Joker steals it so
Great
that he can be like,
heist.
"Hey, you're dude, that movie's so good." Okay,
It
thought
is.
my joke
But
was
like
bad.
just the way
I
that
thought my jokes
heist,
were
I thought that was just a good heist example because
It
it's
was.
like a lot of double crossing and it's a lot of people with very specific jobs.
in the first
Yeah.
5 minutes.
yeah.
I bet he told you to kill me. No, I was supposed to kill the bus driver.
What bus driver?
What bus driver? God.
All right. So here, this one's another real life one. I'm going to give you a name.
Gotta watch that.
Leonardo Notar Bartolo.
Leonardo Notar Bartolo. It's not also the Mona Lisa?
It's not also the Mona Lisa.
Wait.
This is from, I'll give you the years, from 2003. This
Wait.
is a real thing that happened.
He was supposed to steal original music by Beethoven.
You trying to bring my own Beethoven joke
Oh,
back?
man, trying to turn it
My
on you.
joke that
Double
has
cross.
spanned multiple podcasts.
cross.
It's the double cross.
I just did a heist on your
It's
joke.
not.
Yeah, he heisted your joke.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's a great
here.
heist.
So 2011. One thing with all these Italian fucking names is they all go after art. It's the nuttiest thing. So I knew there is a big art scandal where this guy has had very expensive pieces of art in his collection. He finally got busted.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with art.
Go for
It's
it.
diamonds.
Diamonds.
It's the
Shine
Antwerp
bright.
diamond heist. Thieves stole over $100 million worth of diamonds, jewelry, gold, and silver. And while they finally caught some of the guys, they've never recovered the diamonds.
Ooh.
So,
Is he in jail?
I don't
Or
know
did
if
he
he's
get
still
away
in
with it?
jail. In Europe, they have a lot more slap on the wrist type punishments
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people.
What's
So-
the maximum sentence in like Sweden for murder? It's
25
like
years.
20. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So wait.
Or maybe it's only 15 years. It's not as long
And
as
they
you
live
would
like
think.
That
kings.
guy
Have you
that
seen
killed like
Sweden?
those 73 people on that.
He's
that
going to get out of
cleanup?
jail eventually.
Oh my god.
Eventually.
Come on, Sweden.
All right, and then the
Norway.
final one,
Or Finland.
the Thomas Crown Affair.
That's a painting.
He tried to steal the crown.
No, it's
It's a painting.
It's a painting.
He knew it. He knew it right away. But I'll give you 1,000,000 points, 1,000,000 bonus points to extend to all future games if you tell me what the name of the painting was.
The sparrow.
Was it a bird?
The fleur.
No,
The fleur de la
it's
mer.
a man in a bowler hat with an apple in front of his face.
Oh man, that's a Monet. No,
I forget the name of the
Man in hat
That's a-
with apple.
that's a famous thing because you can't see any of his features. It's not Monet.
Abstract?
It's not abstract. Maybe a little bit.
Man with hat and
All right,
apple.
you're not going to get it. It's the Son of Man. There go your 1,000,000
This,
bonus points.
son of man. I
we
said
gotta
man
work
with
for our
hat and
points.
apple. I
You
got
were
one
close.
word.
Yeah, you got one word. This isn't the El Dorado
apple.
thing, though.
Son of man.
So very good, you guys. You did very well.
Hey, that's a good game, man.
That's
Thanks.
good.
Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
good, very heist-oriented game.
That is very
welcome.
appropriate for it. But hey, we hope you guys had just as fun as we had listening to this in your car.
That's hard to do because I had a lot of fun today.
I had a great time during doing this episode. And you know what? You'll have a great time tuning in every Wednesday when we release a new podcast. Our YouTube should be up by now. Check it out. We release a video on YouTube every Friday.
Got some extra content for you.
Extra content for you guys, extra laughs, extra, seeing us, fight with the neighbors about playing
Their
music to calm their canaries, whatever that dilemma. If you want to see about that, check out the YouTube. Or you can send us an email at pcfmpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you, answer any questions you have. It might take a little bit to respond, but I promise you, we do read them.
Yeah. Did you say Instagram? I wasn't paying attention.
You can say
Okay,
Instagram.
we got an Instagram too, PCFM Podcast. Fun stuff on there, pop culture references and things like that.
Memes. Don't forget the memes.
All the memes. Speaking of memes, you can come and hang out with me on Twitch. That has nothing to do with memes. Come and hang
You
out
are
with
a
me.
meme.
I am a meme. I'm a walking, talking meme. Come hang out with me at twitch.tv/myhappyself. That's my Twitch page. I stream 3 days a week. It's a good time. And Cameron, what can they do to interact with you?
To interact with me, you can find me on my Instagram at Cameron C. Fath, or you can follow my streetwear page, Kick God Apparel, or if you want to support the brand, go ahead and check out some of the stuff we got on our website at www.kickgodapparel.com. Now,
Cue
cue music.
I wanted to say it this time.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. You know what? Never mind.
Say it.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.